the Enactus Perspective, an interview show created for the entire Enactus South Africa network, where we have some of our faculty advisors, students, alumni, business partners as well, come on camera and share some of their most fondest memories of their Enactus journey, their Enactus experience. It's really about putting the Enactus experience into perspective. Welcome. My name is Somi, and a very warm welcome to our guest Takunda, an alumni from the Enactus of Pretoria. Welcome to the show, man. How are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you so much for having me today, guys.
Super. So let's just jump right into it. Tell us, Enactus, what year, how did it start, how did you join?
Enactus, so my story with Enactus was pretty interesting because I attempted to join Enactus twice. I remember the first time I tried was in 2014.
Okay.
And I was kind of one of those guys who came to the information session. I sat there, I was like, this is super great. I'd love to join it. And then I didn't follow up. And then the next year, I was finally able to actually sign up and start attending. That was in 2015 when I started. And I ran up to 2016, where I was then on the executive committee with the Enactus University of Pretoria.
Yeah. And, while there, some great memories. Which projects were you on? Perhaps a highlight or two from your time.
So I was with, in 2015, I was with Project Hlumelelisa, which we did at Leeuwkop Prison. So we were rehabilitating prisoners there, so teaching them skills, in vertical farming, teaching them financial skills, which was a really exciting project because these were some very tough, hard and scary guys.
Yeah.
But to get into the prison and meet them, you realize these are just humans who made mistakes as well, and they also deserve a chance to have a new life and a fresh start. So that was maybe one of my favorite projects. In 2016, I was with a project called Nutri Tummies, where we were actually doing feeding schemes for schools in South Africa. So, but definitely Hlumelelisa was my favorite project, and simply because of the impact, the impact you make on someone's life, and you can see it when the guys don't go back into prison, after leaving, because a lot of the guys would return back to jail after leaving prison because they didn't know what else to do. So it was good to see that impact in people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a project that has a great deal of social impact. With that, at nationals, I take it you attended quite a few of the nationals. Highlights from that, from that experience. What did you enjoy? What was super about it? What were there any nerves? Attending nationals.
Yeah, nationals was great. I was lucky enough to go to two nationals competitions.
Yeah.
And the first year was 2015 when I was still new to the program. And what took me was just the sheer scope of it, how big it was. It was amazing to understand that you're part of something so much bigger than just, Enactus UP. There's so many other students, so many other individuals who were just excited as we were, who were working just as hard, if not harder than we were, who were just as talented as we thought we were.
Yeah.
And that was really, mind-blowing to me to see, hey, wow, I actually need to step up because everyone is working just as hard as you think you're working. And nerves are huge. I was on the question and answer team, which is, Q&A, you don't know what's going to come your way. And I remember I absolutely froze when I did it in 2015, and I was absolutely broken. Really, really hated that. And in 2016, I dedicated myself to becoming a Q&A fundi, a real
an
pro
expert
at Q&A, because I've been so broken by the way I froze the year before.
Yeah. Toughest question that you would say was, this was, let's say.
The toughest question. I don't exactly remember what the question was because obviously in that moment, the heart is racing and the brain is moving at 1,000 miles a minute. But what I can tell you happened is that I answered a question about a completely different project.
Right.
But I was able to brush it off my shoulders and do better the next year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, such is the thing. At times you do need to be clued up with all the projects that the particular campus is busy with. Today, what do you do today? Where do you work, and how has what you learned or the experiences through Enactus, um, and even the projects you've led and have been part of, how has that shaped where you work today?
Yeah, so I'm now a marketing executive with a logistics company in Zimbabwe. I'm with FedEx in Zimbabwe, and my background, I came from another marketing role with a radio station called ZFM, which is one of Zimbabwe's most upbeat, pop culture radio stations. And funnily enough, I studied economics at school,
Yeah.
but in Enactus, I was chosen to be in a marketing team when I was in Enactus. And that's really where the journey of marketing came from, because I never thought I was going to be in the marketing field. I always thought I was going to be in economics, maybe get into something like politics. But through the experience I got with Enactus, and it absolutely changed my life, my career, and I found something that I'm extremely passionate about and love to do, which I will always be grateful for.
So you would certainly say that Enactus really did give you that foundation to really aspire to having a social impact and the marketing expertise.
One of the brilliant things about Enactus is that, when you're still at school and you're still studying and you're getting a lot of theoretical knowledge, everything is a big dream, it's a big picture, and you're picturing yourself, in the corporate space and doing all this stuff. And you forget that a lot of it is very practical and it's very hands-on. And I think Enactus was able to give my team and myself that practical experience, that real what would it be like when you're now on the job, when you're taking on serious professional projects. Enactus was able to give us a feel of that. How much work do you need to put in? How much research? What is the needs assessment? How do you do a proposal? How do you do a budget? Enactus was able to give us that hands-on feel of that, and this is where we are now.
Nice. Part of growing within a project, part of living in the day and age that we live in right now is that we face some of the challenges of sustainable development, and in particular the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of 2030. Um, how do you, in your view, how do we go about achieving those goals? How do we overcome what we're facing right now, especially in a developing country, and we move towards pushing the agenda of the SDGs?
I think when it comes to sustainability, and particularly in an African context, we really have to develop the will for it. We need to understand why this is in our best interests
Right.
to start working on these sustainable initiatives. That's one thing that I think we really lacking. I think we've got the academic knowledge of why of what it is, and what the SDGs are, but we aren't really taking into account what are the real benefits for us and why this is good for us. You know, somewhat. I think we need to make a selfish decision and say, why is this in our best interest? Why does it make sense for us to invest in renewable energy in a place like uh, Zimbabwe, where we don't have access to petrol, you know, and electricity is always running low, because of our suffering infrastructure based on the coal system. So why not look into more solar? These are some of the questions we should ask ourselves in a somewhat selfish sense. But why would going sustainable improve our livelihoods? That's one thing that I definitely see. And the other thing is, we need to create models around Africa, around ourselves. I think we've done too much, copy pasting, and not really looking at our resources, looking at our conditions, looking at what's readily available, what our people are good at. And those are some of the small steps to developing sustainable projects. Because if you're simply going to copy paste, it's a foreign concept, it's going to crumble. But if we work with what our people are good at and what we have, then we're looking at solutions that can lead us into the next 100, 200 years.
Using entrepreneurship, sustainability, and leadership to solve African problems and no longer just copy and paste. That's sounds super. Um, Last but not least, what governs you? What's your motto? What gets you up in the morning?
counted. What gets me up in the morning is I've got this thing that I'm very passionate about, which is stand up and be counted. You know, it's a saying that I always put out there, and it simply means that in life, you know, do something, stand for something.
Yeah.
If you're in a room with Bill Gates, Cyril Ramaphosa, and who's another interesting character? I'll say my own president, Idi Mnangagwa or whatever. You know, if you're in a room and you're sitting at a meeting with him, are you going to put your input to help create a better place, a better world, a better country? Are you going to, you know, stand up and be counted in that conversation, in that discussion? And I think that's what really motivates me, is that I want to leave an impact that is meaningful and that does something for my country, my people.
When you give. That's a way of putting it. We just repeat that motto: stand up and what is it?
Stand up and be counted, eh?
Stand up and be counted. All right. Thank you very much, my good sir. Thank you for taking some time to just have a chat with us and, you know, share some of your fondest memories of the Enactus program. Certainly wishing you all the best in terms of some of the projects that you're busy with now. And yeah, man, all the best.
Thank you, man. I just wish it could be a bit longer. I absolutely love chatting to you guys. Brings back fond memories. And I'm so excited to see what the program is going to continue doing and the type of people it's going to create.
Greater impact, future leaders, just pushing the agenda of entrepreneurship. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Just a reminder that feel free to leave some of your comments. If you also want to share an experience or a memory as well, and some of the greatest memories as well from the Enactus program, leave it down in our comment section. Follow us on our social media tags, and don't forget to click subscribe and to click the notification button. Thank you.